Good day, friends. Milo here. Today's adventure starts with Gimli in Umbar Barabel, the city, elves, dwarves, and trouble. I never thought I would say something like this, but these Corsair vessels simply do not compare to the Wave Hunter. Now that was a fine ship. Ah, what has happened to me, Miloa? I have been beside the water for too long. I will be dreaming about gulls next, like poor Legolas. No, it is only a jest. I like good strong earth beneath my feet, and always will. Legolas and I have been trying to speak to the dock workers in the Sail Haven, but they have not been very helpful to us. Perhaps you will have more good fortune than we have. If we could aid our mission here with suspicious glances, we would have the victory already and be halfway back to Gondor by now. I do not think these folk see many Lego Longbeards here, and elves are even more rare.
There was a time when asking questions would get you brought to the temple on the hill.
Be glad those times are past, stranger. But I have nothing to say to you. Just be glad the kindred of the coins rule us now, and not the empire of Ordek.
Questions like this are like to get you in trouble, stranger.
And sooner that you might be prepared for. I give up, I give up!
It is said wherever elves and dwarves go, trouble is sure to follow. Because I've seen you with them.
I'm not saying I agree with it, but this is something you will hear in Umbar if you keep your ears open. There are other whispers as well, that Mulder Fiercewater got himself killed in Gondor, and his wife Nakasi burned the White City to the ground to avenge him. I do not know the truth of it. Why, Tumuldo is probably still alive. He has disappeared before for weeks at a time, and I do not believe something just because I heard someone say it. The two of them are beloved by the folk of the Sail Haven, and have been ever since they helped us cast off the yoke of Ordek and the Church of the All-Seeing. If something has happened to the two of them, Harbor Warden Eshmun will know of it. His office is in the tall blue tower to the south. I cannot guarantee he will speak to you, to such as you, but you may find it valuable to try.
The people here do not know some of what we know.
And I recommend we keep it that way. If it became clear that some of the rumors they have dismissed are true, let us say it may become more difficult for us to accomplish our mission. We should speak with this harbor warden and learn what we can of Nakasi's whereabouts. She knows you by sight and will not have forgotten your face. She could make things very difficult for us. Eshmun's assistant.
Yes, what is it? Eshmun is too busy to speak with anyone.
But I am his assistant and can aid you with any of your needs, so long as it is in the power of the harbor warden to grant it. What do you want? You ask the harbor warden's assistant what he knows about the ship of Nakasi Wave Reaper. He seems about to answer quickly, and then catches himself. He thinks for a moment. Do you know something? I have not seen Nakasi or Tumuldo in some time. There have been whispers about them down in the Sail Haven, but now that you mention it, it is rather strange that they have not come to see Eshmun in the past few days. Their ship is hard to miss. Usually it is docked right over there. Is that all? Good day to you then.
Gimli and I will keep our eyes open for some sign of Nakasi Wave Reaper.
It is true that she may cause difficulty for us if she finds us before we locate the ones she took captive. We will not relax our vigilance.
Where has Nakasi Wave Reaper gone? I do not like this.
They say elves and dwarves cause trouble. I say vengeful widows are more likely to cause trouble than we are, and that trouble will be worse. Ah, nice. Pants upgrade. Alright. We rode past a bunch of quests coming this way, so just backtracking.
May the seas be calm and the winds fair.
Ezote's menagerie. Have you heard about the many animals that have been put on display in the menagerie of the Upper Ward? A man called Ezoti has gathered a number of fearsome creatures. Just thinking about them fills me with dread. He is to be found by Berth Gabar in the Upper Ward. When I am done with my work, I will go there right away. Okay, it looks like all of those quests pointed to the same location.
Might you spare a moment?
Another interested set of eyes? Indeed, indeed. Rumor of my creatures has spread far and wide, but not so far as that concerning my latest acquisition.
Come one, come all! Gaze upon the terror that is the Resa of Belfalos, a twisted creature from the very depths of the sea. But fear not, for I, ezoti, have tamed this beast.
The beast, tamer ezoti. Marvel at its frightening visage and gasp at its every sudden movement. Alright. Dr. Kushida across the way. Oh, we had that a vicious rumor was from the previous. That was from yesterday, right? Yes, it was from last time. So we shall finish up both of them. Let's do this one first.
That poor turtle is not the only creature ezoti has paraded among the streets. Before we deal with him, we must rescue them. The man knows my face and is wary of me. But what if you were to ingratiate yourself with him? Hmm? Perhaps you could learn of their location.
Can you believe this nonsense? How foolish must these people be to believe his tales? That is a normal sea turtle. He's painted and dressed in seaweed. The poor creature looks miserable. She tears her gaze away from the spectacle and gives you an appraising look. I have an associate in Zirar Tarka, Nakama by name. She wrote to me of an adventurer who looks very much like you. An adventurer who deals honorably with others. Might you be the very one of whom Nakama spoke? Can I rely upon you to help deal with this charlatan? That turtle is not the only creature he has paraded before the crowds he attracts. Before we deal with him, we must rescue his poor captives. Ezoti knows my face and is wary of me, but you might pretend to befriend this man, and then you could learn where he keeps his pets. We're gonna wrap
What
up
news has come in with the tide?
a vicious rumor as well. Elia sent you? Then I know you have a pure heart of devotion to animals. It is good that you have found me. We have much to talk about. Alright, let's go befriend Ezoti then.
My good friend, it would be an honor and a privilege for you to work alongside me. And I have just the task to set you upon.
Yes, yes. Now that I am finished with my show, I have time to speak with you. An assistant? Why, yes, I could use an assistant. It is to be expected that someone as talented as myself would come to command the respect of others. How can I not have seen it before now? My good friend, it would be an honor and a privilege for you to work alongside me, and I have the very task upon which to set you.
As excellent as I am but one man who could only be in one place at one time. If only I could walk the whole of the city to spread word of my show, the docks themselves would buckle under the weight of my vast audience.
But no! Residents of the lower streets of the city do not have the coins I need to make the show worth my time. We will focus our efforts upon the upper ward only. Take these posters and place them upon the walls of the upper ward. Only the denizens of such a prestigious quarter have the refined taste to appreciate my talents, and their coin purses often shine with gold instead of silver. You resolve to place the posters in the areas with poor visibility and little foot traffic. Ezoti does not deserve to be rewarded with large crowds. Okay. So let's go hang some posters. A bad place for a flyer behind a bench. Okay, this is a dead end. Good bad place for a fire. You decide you have posted enough flyers, might as well burn the rest. And there they go.
Might you spare a moment?
Wonderful work, assistant. With all 16 of those flyers posted in high visibility areas, with great foot traffic throughout the upper ward, my next show is sure to be an even bigger success than my previous one. My upcoming success burns like a fire, bright and hot, and I have myself to thank for that. And you too, of course. You have contributed a small portion, I suppose.
If only all of my associates were as reliable as you, assistant.
What is that makes finding good associates so difficult? Take, for example, one of my previous fellows. Oh, hang on. This one is called an egg. A single egg. One egg! What is it that makes finding good associates so difficult? Take, for example, one of my previous fellows, a man named Etho. I paid him quite a large sum to fetch me an egg. A single egg! One egg! And I have not had word from him in days. How hard can it be to retrieve a roc's egg? I began to think he ran off with my money, but would he dare? How could he dare such a thing? Now, a lesser man would have fall into despair over this betrayal, if that is indeed what it is. But Ezoti is no lesser man, is he? No, the show must go on, as they say. To the end, I need you to find an egg-shaped rock, paint it to look like a rock's egg, and bring it back here, and no one needs to know. Look for one outside the city, beyond the Gate of Song in the north, where no one will see what you are up to. Okay, let's go out the north side. Let's grab the stable master while I'm here.
Umbar is a free city at last!
Alright, here are some rocks. There's a tiny rock. Oh, and I got a keep strider on me. Alright. That rock is too big. This rock is the perfect size. Now you should paint it to look like an egg. Oh, sorry. Painting stone. Nice paint job if I have to say so myself. It looks just like the real thing. Carry the egg to Ezoti in the upper ward. You have delivered the egg.
This is perfect. This looks exactly like our egg. I assume. I have never seen one myself.
But I believe that it must look exactly like this. How could it not?
I'm entrusting you with the care of my animals. Go to where I house my precious friends in the upper quarter. Feed and water them.
Inside Ezoti's den. Ezoti smiles at you for a little too long, and already uncomfortable pause become longer and more awkward with each passing second. Finally he says, I think I can trust you with the most important task. I have many animals in my care. He leans closer to you. His breath smells of good fish and bad milk. Or should I say our care? That is right. I am trusting you with the care of my animals. Go to where I have my precious friends in the upper quarter. Feed and water them.
I will meet you in the upper quarter.
You share the animal's location with Kushida. Good work. I will tell my associates we are on our way to rescue the animals. I will meet you inside Ezoti's flat in the upper ward, northeast of here.
Leave me to my sorrows.
The air is thick with an amalgam of stenches. Kushida pinches her nose with a thick cloth. Quickly! Help me check on them. The boar's worried eyes are fixed on the baby bear. The creature's breathing is labored. The goat leans into your touch. You sense it has been a long time since it has been treated with compassion. The bear issues a plaintive cry, causing your companion to wince.
This is no natural exhaustion. I suspect ezoti has given them something to make them sluggish.
And less capable of escape, the fiend.
Take some herbs and edible flowers from the courtyard and gardens of the upper quarter. Grind them up with honey, mix in some water, and give it to the animals. While you do this, I will report to my lady.
I know of a tincture that can wipe away even the heaviest lethargy. Take some herbs and edible flowers from the courtyards and gardens of the upper ward. Do not worry about getting permission. If you take only cuttings, it will not be a problem. In Umbar, some things we share freely with each other. Once you have the herbs and flowers, grind them up with honey, mix it with water, and give them to the animals. A merchant I know on the southeastern side of the Grand Market will help you do this. Meanwhile, I will report to my lady. Poor babies. We gotta rescue them. Alright, we are looking for vibrant flowers, herbs, and okay, here we go. Verdant leaf. And we're looking for a flower and herbs. Oh, I'm out of the zone. Vibrant flower. Now I'm just looking for some herbs. A clump of fragrant herbs. not finding this. Okay, there's an upper level. Ah, fragrant herb. Okay, it was up top. You know, I gotta go talk to Kushida's vendor friend.
Good day to you, traveler.
Kushida stopped by. She said you might need some honey and some water. Oh, put your coin away. We all owe her a debt that would take a lifetime to repay. Here, you can use this remedy kit to mix the tincture you need. Alright, let's go give them the medicine. The boar trots over to the baby bear and nuzzles it affectionately. The cave claw seems happier. The goat nuzzles her hand and bleats cheerfully. The bear lets out a mighty yawn and seems more at ease. Go talk to Kushida.
There is much to be done and fewer hands by which to do it.
Kushida relaxes and as you give her the good news. You've done well, Miloa.
You have done well. Ezoti has been dealt with by our mutual friend, Nekama. Yes, she is here in the city. Should you ever need a favor, redeem this coin with either of us.
Ezoti has been dealt with by our mutual friend Nakama. As you've done us a favor, I will share with you that both Nakama and I are agents of Tahata the Beast. Her work with the kindred of the coins means that weeks can go by without either of us speaking with her, but we know she would approve of the work you helped us do to this day. Speak with Nakama, she has something for you. Good work, she says. The animals have all been rescued, and they will no longer suffer in such a situation as ezoti imposed upon them. For myself, I have chosen to adopt the Razor of Balfalas. Once I cleaned away all the mud and seaweed that ezoti had used to disguise him, it became clear that the razor was a rather ordinary turtle. And yet he is not ordinary, not truly, for he is very friendly and loves people. He seems rather taken with me, and I confess I'm quite fond of the old fellow too. She holds out a flame-colored coin for you to take. Should you ever need a favor, redeem this coin with myself or Gashida. She smiles and says nothing further. You suppose the meeting is done. Alright. You have put an end to ezoti. Alright. Let's pick up the next quest I see. To honor the dead. A young man stands in front of a memorial to those murdered by the Church of the All-Seeing. He seems to be cleaning it. Perhaps you should join him in his work. Could be dirt, could be droppings, could be both. There was a stain of some kind here, but it is gone now.
Leave me to my sorrows.
I appreciate your help, stranger. This memorial is meant to honor those murdered by the Church of the All-Seeing. But as you can see, most of the folk here pretend it does not exist. I do not fault them for that. The memory of what happened here can be unbearably painful. I wish only that I had some help in keeping it clean on days when you are not nearby, and offer your help.
Good day to you, traveler.
Energetic youth. I do not think so. Sorry. Perhaps someone else will do it. I cannot be your only choice for this chore, surely. Man on errands.
Might you spare a moment?
That is a nice thing for the man to do, but I am here from the lower ward. Even if I wanted to help, I could not make the journey every day.
What will become of us now?
I see good Nafdif working so hard every day. I would help him, but I must care for my shop and cannot take the time away.
Umbar is a free city at last.
I cannot so easily abandon my post, but I will do what I can when I can, whenever that may be. I promise nothing to you, you understand? Fresh dirty spot. Okay, I'm clicking on that. When you return, native is nowhere to be found, but there is a fresh stain atop the memorial. You wipe it clean with a scrap of cloth left behind for that purpose. You could not fix native's problem, but you tried to help. That will have to be enough this time. Okay, there's another ring over there. Looks like it's going to be on the other side of the wall.
Do you have need of something?
A terrible foundation. You there, interested in earning a tam or three? You see this ruin here? I bought the land it stands on from the kindred of the coins, and I'd like to begin new construction as soon as I can. Alas, I've been trying to demolish this old shrine for nearly a week now, but my laborers keep walking out on their work. It's haunted, they say, as if such a thing could be true. How absurd! I've been here nearly an hour now, and I've seen nothing of the sort. If you'd clear some of this rubble and help me prove me right, I'll see to it that you receive a fitting reward.
What news has come in with the tide?
No, do not speak. You do not need to tell me I was mistaken, Miloa. I saw those terrible things with my own eyes. Penosh covers his face with his hands and sighs. I should have known, Miloa. Why else would they have sold this land for such a meager price? I'm gonna just continue exploring right now.
I must confront my old friend Belondor. I cannot put it off any longer.
The city. Sirgon's wound. I must confront my old friend Belondor, Miloa. I cannot put it off any longer, or I will never face it. No, do not seek to dissuade me. I am resolute. If you are a friend, you will aid me in this. The woman Belondor loved was a noblewoman of the city, and she was called Meshka. I believe her home must be somewhere within the upper ward, and the folk within may tell us where she lives with Belondor. It is a gamble, of course. The two may dwell now within the citadel of winds, as befits a leader of the kindred and his wife, but it might not be so, and folk of the upper ward may tell us.
I cannot help you. I am sorry.
The elite of the city had gathered here, and I will not give any of them an excuse to complain about my food or my service.
I know nothing that will help you. You have my apologies. Now, move on.
Not a very friendly lot, are they?
Belondor? Ah, he is the master of fleets and well loved by his people.
And when he is not at sea, you will usually see him walking through the fleet fast, down by the shore. He is a good man, well loved by his people. They say he was instrumental in organizing the overthrow of the Church of the All-Seeing, and the casting off of our Ordaki shackles. But that is just what I heard. I can tell you no more than this.
No, I have not seen Belondor today, but you just missed his wife, Meshka.
She was heading south toward the Sail Haven. She may have been bound for the market of the upper ward that is on the way, or one of those in the Sail Haven. And if you hurry, you might still catch her.
Yes, can I help you with something? What is it?
Sirgon steps forward, and Meshka's eyes go cold.
I do not care for your choice of friends, stranger.
Meshka addresses Sirgon with hatred in her voice. You are bold to come here, Sirgon of Gondor, but foolish. My husband suffered much at your hands and those of your master. For you to come here now, she falls silent. Not here. You will come to the home I share with Belondor, and there we will speak. It is the northeast, here in the upper ward. Okay. Wonder how we get there. Oop! Ah, we just rode into some Corsairs. This may be a trap, but let's go with it. does look like a dead end. Okay, supposedly we gotta go to the other side or up. No. Mishka waits for you outside her home, surrounded by guards.
I was not certain you would dare come here.
But since you have, you will hear my words before you and your friend die. Mishka holds up her hand, signaling to her guards that they should await her command. For years after Sirgon drove my intended to his death, I lived a life of mourning, believing he died at sea. I married, and it was a marriage of great happiness, at least until its ending, when my husband was seized by the Church of the All-Seeing and burned alive, sacrificed to its dark lord. Why do I tell you this? I tell you this so you will know I am no wilting flower. I have been forged of tough steel, hardened by fire and by the salt spray. There is a reason Belendor was my first intended, for he is the same, made durable by his experiences. For he did not perish beneath the waves when Sirgon pursued him through the rocks of Shedexkin. He survived as a castaway among the Shield Isles, sun-scorched and bitter, until he was taken aboard an Ordaki galley. In time he came to Umbar and served in the fleet fast, becoming one of its dedicated defenders, but the rule of the heirs of Castamere rankled him. He began a friendship with Azagoth, the Sea Shadow, and others who would come to supplant the heirs. This kindred of the coins rules wisely and fairly, unlike either the heirs of Castamere or the Steward of Gondor. What final words have you to say, Sirgon? Will you beg the forgiveness of my husband? I will give your words to him, if they please me. I do not beg for forgiveness, Meshka, for I know forgiveness is not deserved. If there is a message to give from me to your husband Belendor, it would be this. The wound I suffered the night we duelled after dinner was mortal. It was not a deep cut, not physically, but that wound has stayed with me since that night. I will not beg for forgiveness, or say that following the command of the steward Denethor protects me from your reprisal, but know that I was forever changed by what I did to your husband Belendor, though I did not know it, but now I see that I was. I believed I missed the sea and sailing and traced my miseries to giving up that life, but I see now that it was my friendship with your husband that I truly missed, and the innocence of my youth before I committed the act by which I am now forever judged, and judge myself. If this is the wound that is to slay me now, I welcome it. I ask that you spare Maloa, who had no part in earning this, but I will not run from it.
We were all wounded on that night, Sirgon, and none of us knew how deeply.
Meshka stares at Sirgon for a long moment, and then motions for her guards to stand down. We were all wounded on that night, Sirgon, and none of us knew how deeply. Your words ring true to me. I've spent years dwelling upon my hatred for you, for the treatment suffered by Belendor at your hands, and at the hands of Gondor, and though that land is ruled now by a king and not a steward, I believe in my heart that it would be no different if those events happened today and not long years ago. I did not forgive you then, and I do not forgive you now. Meshka shakes her head. and for the first time today you see her smile. But men are weak, Sirgon. Know this. When the streets of Umbar Parabel filled with soldiers of Ordek, and the heirs of Castamir sailed with the Corsairs to Gondor, my husband Belendor weighed his hatred for Gondor against them, and he dispatched a ship for Peligir, bearing a warning for you. I counseled against it, but it seems it did not matter, for the ship never arrived. No doubt it was sunk by the heirs, and so the warning never came to you. My first husband was a good man, slain by Ordek. My second husband, Bellador, helped to overthrow those who killed my first, and he established a new order in Umbar, the Kindred of the Coins, which will usher in an era of prosperity and peace. If he has any fault, it is that he forgives too readily, and is pleased to forget the sins of Gondor, if it means Umbar will have fresh beginning. This is not a fault that I share. Therefore, I give you your life, Sirgon, but I banish you from the upper ward. If I see you return, I will order my guards to slay you where you stand. Now be gone. Our business here is done. Thanks, Rothmer. Much appreciated. I have much to think about, Beloa. Let us leave the upper ward. I believe Meshka was serious and is not safe for us to remain here. Rothmar, I just listened back to it off of my cell phone, and sound quality seems fine to me. I could hear perfectly everything. Hey guys, I'm gonna take just a quick bio and grab something to drink, and I'll be right back.